We're here with Dave Whiting, the owner and winemaker at Red Newt Cellars. Thank you, Dave, for having us.
Well, thank you, Summer, for coming.
So, can you talk a little bit about what the inspiration was for starting Red Newt?
We started Red Newt about 12 years ago now. I had been a winemaker in the Finger Lakes 10 years previous to that. But really, the Finger Lakes has always really thrilled me. It's a great place to make wine. And when I got into the business 20-something years ago, the industry was just starting to get on the roll. So I spent 10 years working at 4 or 5 different Finger Lakes wineries. In the meantime, met my wife, Deborah, my now wife, Deborah, who made a career change when we were dating into the culinary field, and was operating an upscale catering business for about 6 years before we started Red Newt. So during that time, we spent a lot of time talking about wine and food, doing wine and food dinners and all these really fun things, and saying someday we'll have a winery and a restaurant together.
And now you do.
That's Red Newt.
And why Red Newt? Why the name Red Newt?
Well, we named the winery after the eastern red-spotted newt, which is a small little amphibian, actually about this size and color, but it's indigenous to the Finger Lakes. We have a personal affection for these little critters. Actually, when we bought our home about 2 or 3 miles from here, about 20 years ago, the first spring when we went up into the backfield, this little dairy farm, there was this little pond and it was teeming with these red-spotted newts. So over the years, we've really developed personal affection. And when it came time to name the winery, we wanted a name that was meaningful to us, but we didn't want our name on the label. We wanted something that was regionally significant, but we didn't want a place name, like, you know, Ditcher or Hector Cellars or whatever. So, but we wanted to associate with the Finger Lakes, so we kept talking about this newt, which is very special to us. It's also very easy to remember. Looks great on a label or a hat or a shirt or anywhere else.
Now we're here with Deb also, who is the chef and owner of Red Newt Bistro. So glad that you could join us.
Thank you.
You know, things are going to get busy pretty soon. Could you talk a little bit about how important the wines are to the food that you're putting on the menus, or even vice versa, how they influence each other?
Well, they're very important. First of all, the food is very, very wine friendly. One of the things we do here at Red Newt is I change the menu every single month, and I base the monthly menus on what's available seasonally and locally. And therefore, you know, you have all these different products that are available locally, and then you're working with the local wines, not only our wines, but other wines. And so there's a real synergy between the local food and the local wine. Very, very much a part of it. What we look at is when someone comes in here, they have a true Finger Lakes experience. They're sitting out looking at this great scenery at the lake. They're having regional food, regional cuisine with regional wines. And so that's really our focus. And so, you know, it's the full package. When they come here, we want them to leave and say, wow, you know, I've experienced the Finger Lakes, both the wine, the food, and the scenery.
Your 2008 Circle Riesling was named Wine Spectator Best Buy under $15, which is a really big accomplishment to get your name out like that. But what kind of impact does that kind of recognition bring, not only Red Newt, but also just the Finger Lakes region in general?
A rating and an award like a Wine Spectator Best Buy, especially in that very competitive price category of $10 to $15, does a lot to expose the region and the wine. So that was a really a great award for us. You know, and another thing too, the region as a whole has been getting a lot of great press in the Spectator and Wine and Spirits and Wine Enthusiast, all the national magazines. You know, the Finger Lakes wine was in the top 100 wines of the year in the Spectator, and many other awards. So it's really great to see attention focusing more and more on the Finger Lakes, both in terms of getting people to come here, because it's a great place to visit, and as well as helping with sales outside the state. 5 years ago, there were maybe 1 or 2 wineries distributing outside New York State, but now there are quite a few. We started distributing outside New York about 2 years ago, and are very strong in Massachusetts and Rhode Island, as well as Connecticut, Vermont, DC, Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Ohio.
Thank you so much. This was a great time, and your wines are amazing. And please also say thank you to Deb when you get back inside. And we can't wait to get back to Boston to find these wines and buy some for ourselves.
Oh, terrific! And thank you so much for stopping by. And I hope you've had a great Finger Lakes experience here in the Finger Lakes.
We have.